Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on what time you are watching Coffee with Charles. I'm Charles Washira, and today I have a topic for you that is interesting, and we will be learning how to, ride through those seasons when the marriage is rocky. And so, sit back, enjoy your coffee. Coming up, when you enter inside that institution called marriage, it has a lot of things that you thought you knew and you could handle until you're inside and you see how hard it is to resolve even small problems until you sit down. So what are the dangers? What are the disadvantages that come along with trying to use communication skills to solve a problem in a marriage? What are the hindrances that come up? Welcome back. This is Coffee Charles, and as we begin to tackle this question, I would like to remind you to make a subscription and also be able to like the channel. If you have a comment, leave it on the comment section, or if you have a question, you can use a WhatsApp number to ask a question and we'll respond to it. Also hit the notification button so that YouTube can alert you when we release new content. So karibu sana, and I know this topic for introduction purposes is something that is happening across all places where you find people married, whether in church or outside church, whichever faith they're in. What happens when their marriages are on the rocks, when things are thick, when things are not working, when it's a winter season. And so we're going to have a conversation that will help you understand some of the things you can do right now as you watch me. If you're in that space where things are rocky, they are not working, where there's so much conflict, these are some of the things you should do and think about. And so, number one, learn that communication is the only way out. So most people think that problems, when you have problems inside that marriage, most people think that those problems are unresolvable. They are such things that are happening that cannot be resolved. But the question is, maybe not the way to is not about resolving them. The issue is communication skills. So you find, are you able to sit down and have a decent conversation about the issue, not attacking each other, but the issue at hand. And I'm talking from experience that this kind of conversations when things are on the rock can be rocky. It can be that you can't even talk. It can be that you are so angry that you are spewing out the wrong things. It can be so bad that you feel like, I don't even want to talk. It can be so bad that people have gone, nil by mouth, and they are not talking. And weeks are passing. And just to sit down and tell your partner, this is exactly what I'm not happy about, and they to tell you back what they are not happy about, and to ask, what can we do? And to have this forgiveness, and to have this attitude that you are wronged, but you can forgive. That the only way to move forward is to communicate, to find ways which you two can go. And you know why it's so hard? Because the two of you are interested parties, the two of you are the conflicting parties, and so you can't keep calling people to be the third party. You need to learn how to communicate, and that's a skill most of us think we do have until crisis arises. You remember in this country when there was a post-election violence and we had Kofi Annan come here to mediate between the two warring parties? I mean, the two could not talk. So we needed someone to come in and mediate, the talks. And at times, when things are rocky, yes, you may need someone, but because marriage is an institution that has so many times when those rocks are showing up, will you keep calling someone? Maybe it needs you to learn about the proper communication skills, set of skill, so that you're able to utilize and save yourselves instead of keep on calling your mother, you keep calling your sister, keep calling the counselor, you keep calling your pastor, keep calling your best man, best lady, you keep calling other couples to resolve your problems, and they never end. I remember this is something that every person that is wearing a ring, walk down that aisle, or whichever you go married, whether attorney general, customary, whatever, you have encountered this, that when you enter inside that institution called marriage, it has a lot of things that you thought you knew and you could handle until you're inside and you see how hard it is to resolve even small problems until you sit down. So what are the dangers? What are the disadvantages that come along with trying to use communication skills to solve a problem in a marriage? What are the hindrances that come up? You're angry. You don't want to talk. You're quiet. You have no words to say. When you speak, you're speaking angry, rude, crude, words that are not helping. You're instigating more provocation instead of even releasing that anger. And the Bible says a soft word will turn away wrath. You're using harsh words. Things are becoming bad because you're angry, you're emotional, and you can't breathe all those emotions. So all it's chaotic. But then communication entails you sit down, you calm yourself, you try and solve this problem. So what do you have to do? Unlearn. And that's a word I'm using today. Unlearn those bad ways you have been communicating and doing. Those things that you've been doing that are wrong, unlearn them and learn what is correct. Communication is the only thing that will solve those problems. I repeat, communication and effective communication is what will help you resolve your differences, resolve those problems. Number 2, forgiveness is again what will make you go beyond those conflicts and go. Because you discover you are both sinners, you are both fallen, you are both flawed. Even in that argument you have, everyone has changered into it, everyone has put their portion into it, and you are still going to harvest what you put in. So what does it mean? You begin to admit, this is where I was wrong, and apologize, and be able to forgive where you're offended. If you feel you're so offended, you can't forgive, that's where the problem starts, because you communicate, and those who, and both parties must take ownership of what they put in that spoiled. So you find someone saying, kama nilikuumiza, I'm sorry. Kama nilikuumiza, I'm sorry. No. Apologize for the things you did. Call them by name and apologize. For men, don't buy flowers and gifts and taking your girl or your wife to dinner to say, I'm sorry. Why don't you just verbalize it and communicate? And you have to say the words, how you feel. So maybe start a conversation. This is how I feel. When you came home yesterday late, this is how I felt. I felt angry. I felt like you didn't care about me. You didn't even call. I just felt like you didn't care about me. That comes out that way. Fast forward. What if you are saying, what is the problem with you? You never even called me. You never even came home on time. What is the hell wrong with you? I mean, where would that go? But calmly saying what you feel, communicating that, and the other person acknowledging that, yes, I did this, and it was because of this, and I'm sorry, I apologize, and you move on. Another thing I would like to encourage you, those who are on the rocks, and you have been defeated by solving those problems, of course, seek help. What kind of help? Depending on what you're going through, if things have hit Mwamba and there is no return, seek professional help. Seek professional help. Talk to a counselor. Involve a professional. And why am I saying a professional counselor? Because anyone is not a counselor. Everyone has their opinion. Even different ministers of the gospel have their own way of seeing these things. But a professional, I'm talking about a trained counselor, will be able to guide you professionally as they are trained to resolve those problems, come up with ways to get out of them, or make you face what you two are contributed there. And they have that skill set to do that, unlike anyone trying to guess. So seek help from the right person. And number 3, it's quite simple. Be open to learn and unlearn. We must be open to learn new things and unlearn old habits. Most of us, why we are clashing is that you have never left the old way of doing things. You copied your dad, you copied your mom, you come with that template, you are trying to force it on the new family. You can't hear because you can't forget how you know life as it used to be. You borrowed all that from the family of origin. But how come, and I'm asking, how come you haven't unlearned the old habits? Because they are so sweet. You are so familiar with them. You are so comfortable with them that you can't unlearn them. Yet on the other side, this learning of new things is so tough to leave the old familiar things and start new things. New ways of looking at things, new ways of looking at that marriage, new ways of resolving conflict, new ways of forging compromises, new horizons of forgiveness. Let me read you a verse. Luke chapter 5, verse 37 to 39, it says, And no one puts new wine into old wineskins, or else the new wine will burst the wineskins and be spilled, and the wineskins will be ruined. But new wine must be put in new wineskins, and both are preserved. So the new wine put in new wineskin, the wineskins are preserved and the wine is preserved. But if you put new wine into old wineskins, it will burst and the wine will be spilled. You will lose the wine and the wineskin. And that's what Jesus says. So new ideas cannot fit in somebody's whose mind is way back, whose mind is still stuck with where they grew up, where they are, and what they have been doing. New wine can only be put in a mind that is open, a mind that allows new thoughts, new ways of doing things. These are not the 70s, these are not the 60s. These are not methodologies you'll borrow from Kitambo to run your marriage today. You, as a unique couple, don't borrow your neighbor. Maybe it won't work for you. You know, someone used to crack a joke that if you, for some husbands who decide to cook at home, and the wife is like, wow, today you're cooking, and they are so glad and appreciate it and eat the meal. Well, in another house, a husband cooks, and the wife thinks that tomorrow, the husband comes and says, hey, how come there's no food today? I thought you are cooking. You're the one who should now be cooking. And it's lost because he was just trying to do it. One day you assumed he was doing it throughout. He has taken over that role. And so, guys, as I conclude this, communication is key. Open your mind. Learn new ways of living together. Wacha kile baba yako alifanya. Ati bibi asiposikia unamchapa. Those are gone with the wind. Utajipata ndani ya jela. And your grandfather never stepped in the jail doing the same thing. What did he achieve then? Can you achieve it now? These were two groups of people. Today, you have to do it and live it in the very new ways it's going on. Borrowing the same principles of God that never change. They are the same yesterday, today, and forever. That is the word of God. But learning to live with what works for you. So as a unique couple, sit down and talk and see what works for you. How you can organize your life so that the rocks, when they come, you are able to pass through and continue the journey. Allah, see, this has been a time of learning. You've opened your mind. New things are coming in. Coffee Charles. We'll be back with another episode, but that's where I pen off saying go ahead and subscribe to this channel. This has been Coffee with Charles. Till next time, God bless you.